What's going on, everybody? It's Gino coming at you breakdown UFC Fight Night, Song versus Simon. Before I get started, if you have not done this, subscribe to my channel. Do that first. Before you do anything else, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm giving you free picks every week. If you're a Draftkings person, it's really easy to build lineups off what I'm giving because I give you the graphic with the picks, and it's free. So why not get the notification and get those free picks so you can have a little more entertainment on the weekend? Also, if you could just like this video, and then as you watch it, if you want to leave a comment of who your favorite fighter is, that would be great. If not, put a letter in there or something. Let's get that algorithm moving. Okay, so first we have Song versus Simon. I'm going to go Simon. He beat Jack Shore. He's been 5-0 since he's lost in 2019 when he got the round one finish, or he got finished in round one by Uriah Faber. He's gone on a 5-fight win streak. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, yes, he did lose. He lost 2 straight. But what do you do after you're down? You go 5-0. That's a champion. That's a guy who's growing, who's working, who's going to keep getting better. He scored 111, 106, and 98 and 131 in his last 4 wins on DraftKings. He's fighting a guy in Song who he's fought quality opponents. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He has the round 4, the stoppage that happened against Sandhagen. He's got a 1-2 takedown upside. He does have control upside. I don't see any of that happening here against Simon. I think that it's a clear wrestling advantage for him. He did finish Moraes in round 1. He finished Julian Ars in round 2. He scored 105, 92, and 78 in his last 3 wins. This is a 5-round fight. The over 3.5 is minus 125. With that being said, I am going to go ahead and invest all in on the fight, but my lean is Simon. Next, we have Mikey O versus Barallo. Barallo is, what do they call? They call him like the fighting nerd or something. He's very smart. He's also ring smart. I could see him taking this thing to the ground, controlling the mess out of him, maybe finishing him late, maybe submitting him, or maybe just voluming his way to a great DraftKings score. Also, he could be under-owned, but that price is elevated, so I'm not going to go but so crazy with it. I'm not going to call him a core play, but it will be him or pass, and I do see myself at least matching the field on his ownership. Next, we have Cody Brundage versus Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira has scored 84, 106, and 105 in his last 3 wins. He does have a submission upside. He's minus 280 and $9,100. So he is a favorite here. He also is 3-2 over his last 5. He was finished in 2 of his last 3 losses. The under 2.5 is minus 250. He is fighting a dog in Cody Brundage who's plus 230. All of his career wins have been finishes, and he's fighting a guy who's been finished a couple times. Brundage is 2 of his 3 career losses have been TKO. Vieira gets finishes too. He lacks volume. He has scored 114 and 97 in his last 2 wins. I just think Vieira is the favorite for a reason. I think he gets the win here. But I will be at least the field or a little over on Brundage, and I'm definitely going to be elevated on Vieira. Padilla versus Erosa. So Julian Erosa is really fun to watch. He's very explosive. The further the fight go, the fact that it's the over 1.5 is minus 175 tells me that the advantage is going towards Padilla, because Erosa, the further it goes, the worse off he is. But if he wins, he scores 96, 112, 101 on DraftKings. He will hit a ceiling score more than likely. He lost to Caceres recently and Wu Choi. I'm not a fan of those losses. Knocked out. I think there's a good chance he gets taken out here by Padilla, who's relatively unknown, but he does show submission and TKO KO ability. So the pick is Padilla, but I'll be at least the field on both guys because they do have great ceilings. Cortez Acosta versus De Lima. I'm going with De Lima. He is 3-1 over his last 4. He does appear to lose to quality opponents in Ivanov and Romanov. He scored 108, 120, and 106 in his last 3 wins. He does have some takedown upside, but he definitely has control time. He's so big he can get up and just dominate it. He's fighting a Cortez Acosta who's 8-0 in the last 8. He's got a combination of every type of win. He can achieve high volume striking, but he scored 89 and 59 over his last 2 wins, but competition has stunk. So I'm saying that I think De Lima is going to be a step up in competition, so I'm picking him to win as the favorite, and it's going to be De Lima, and then I'm going to be field on both fighters. Jake Collier versus Martin Buday. I'm going to go Martin Buday here. I'm going to be heavy on him, and I'm going to be at the field on Collier because Collier's going to need a finish. I don't think he wins. Buday he's growing as his competition grows. He's 3-0 in the UFC if you count his Dana White Contestant Series. He was outstruck by Bresky, and he won a controversial split. But I do think he's growing, and I think some of his opponents are better than what he is fighting on Saturday. But if Collier can land a KO or something, he'll score well too. So I'm going to make sure I'm invested in both guys on DraftKings. But my pick is Buday. Next, we have Cody Durden versus Charles Johnson. I just think Charles Johnson's got to start getting worn out by now. He's fought this 6-7 fights at this point in the year. He's fighting a Cody Durden who's 3-2 in his last 5. He joined the UFC in 2020. He's getting better. He had 4 takedowns in his recent win over Moda, but he's low volume striking. He had not lost since 2018 until the loss to Flick recently. So I say all that to say I like Durden to win this fight, and I think that yes, Johnson's good, but like I said, I think he's going to get worn down, and I think Durden's the type of guy that can beat him. They fought similar competition, and so yeah, but I do think I'm not betting on it, and I will be invested in both guys for DraftKings. Josh Quinlan versus Trey Waters. It's going to be Waters, and I'm going to be at the field on both guys. Both guys are decently, I don't know a lot. I'm looking at Waters. He lost the first time to Gabriel Bonfim, but I mean that's aging well. He does have submission upside, and he could be a decent challenge for Quinlan. As Quinlan, he's just been running through guys. All his professional wins have been finishes, and he's an early finish candidate. So I'm just going to go with Waters because he's plus money, and both guys are relatively unknown. But I'm going to be at the fielder for both guys or higher. Alexieva versus Edgar. We're gonna go with Edgar. Edgar is the bigger, stronger fighter. I just don't think that Irina is gonna have much for her. She's also a $6,000 fighter, and we do not invest in $6,000 fighters. Marcus McGee versus Journey Newsom. This is a late ad, but McGee he looks good on film. It's his UFC debut. He's fighting Newsom, who we know we got out of him. He lost to Randy Costa in a round 1, and getting finished in round 1. He's fought just as weak a competition, and his record's worse. So I think McGee is also value pricing. Look at the prices, $7,200, $7,300. You mean to tell me I'm going to get a dog at $7,200? Yes, give it. Okay, so we're going to go McGee. I'm going to be over the field on the favorite, and I'm going to fade Newsom because Newsom, he scored 65 fantasy points as his most recent win. His volume stinks, and I don't see him winning the fight. So, yeah, that's that. We're going to fade it. Haley Cohen versus Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm going to go Cohen. Somebody was like, yeah, she's pretty. No, I don't. I think, we're trying to figure out who's who, trying to get new blood in there. She doesn't look terrible on film. She was finished in the LFA by Kelly Clayton, and she's fighting a Horth, though. All of her wins have been finishes. It's going to be her first fight in the UFC. She's just looked good against lesser competition. So I'm like, why not? It's women's MMA. I'll take the cheaper one. But it's a dead even line for the betting market. All right, guys. Hey, that is it. I appreciate you hanging in with me. If you are interested, hit up the DFS Army. This is where I get all my stuff from. Where I do the primary research is where I bounce ideas off of guys. We have a great Discord. If you use my promo code DFLGino, you'll get 10% off the site for a lifetime. Also, I'm on Twitter at TheRealGC9. Hey guys, I will be working, playing with everything throughout the weekend. Hit me up, and I'd love to hear back from you on what you guys liked.